Welcome dear students, welcome once again in this brief online video classes. So last time you have remembered we have discussed some of the question answers of chapter number 3, History, the Delhi Sultans. I hope you will be enjoying your video classes, your online classes. Take very good care of your studies because it is high time for you that you can put your efforts towards positive side or towards positive direction. Okay, so let's begin our session with the question answers. Another question is, do you think the authors of Tuarikh would provide information about the life of ordinary men and women? Have you remembered the authors of Tuarikh? Tuarikh was the language of the Delhi Sultanate, language of the Delhi Sultans, right? Written in Persian. You might have remembered. I have discussed this thing too many times. Authors of Tuarikh were learned people, scholar people or knowledgeable people, right? They may be courtiers, brahmins or somebody. Okay, so authors of Tuarikh, while I was teaching you this topic, authors of Tuarikh, I have also discussed that they used to live in cities, hardly in villages. Remember, they used to live in cities, right? And what they were doing, their work was to praise the king, to write the history of the sultans, write the history of the big kings and take the reward, take the cash. Have you remembered? Yes. So we will utilize that knowledge only to give the answer to this question. So do you think the authors of Tuarikh would provide information about the lives of ordinary men and women? About ordinary men and women, they do not have any idea, they do not have anything to do with them. Clear? That's why the answer comes in this form. No, I don't think the authors of Tuarikh would provide information about the lives of ordinary men and women. No, I don't think that they will be aware of the life of the common men and women. Why? Because their writing was for praising the sultans. Remember, their writing was for praising the sultans and get the rewards and to take the rewards and get rewards, right? They had nothing to do with the common folks. Here the word folks means people. Okay, common folks. Yes, folks, friends, like that. So folks means people. Okay, always remember. They had nothing to do with the common folks, with the common people. Also, they were the part of administration. They were, mind you, they were the parts of administration and were unaware of life of common people as they were residing in towns and hardly in villages. Clear? All these things have already been discussed. They don't know, these authors of Tuarikh, they don't know about the common people, about the ordinary men and women. Why? Because they were residing in towns, they were part of administration, right? And they were writing the history of Sultan, they were writing praisings of Sultan, and in order to get huge rewards and in order to get huge cash, in order to get the rewards, in order to get the prize, in order to get the money and something. Okay, so that's why I don't think that authors of Tuarikh were aware of the common men and women, because it's a question which is being based on our thinkings. You might have different thinking, I don't know, but I think this is the suitable answer. Okay, as far as history is concerned, whatever the facts we were being given in the book, I think this is the perfect answer. Okay, if you want to note it down, you note it down fast, because it's not a usual thing that you will get the same answers. You may have different answers, but every answer has a different meanings. Every answer will lead you to the same direction. Okay. Language may differ. Okay. Number 10 question. Razia Sultan was unique in the history of the Delhi Sultanate. Yes, she is unique in the history of Delhi Sultanate. Do you think women leaders are accepted more readily today? There is a question. Do you think that women leaders or the leaders who were women leaders, big women leaders are accepted more readily today? They were accepted these days. The answer is Razia Sultan was unique in the history of Delhi Sultanate because she is the first woman ruler of Delhi. Okay? In Delhi, none of the women has ruled. She is the first woman to rule over Delhi, to become a part of Delhi Sultanate. So Razia Sultan was unique in the history of Delhi Sultanate because she is the first woman to become the ruler of Sultanate. Moreover, she is also unique because she was more able and qualified than all her brothers. Remember, that's why she came to the throne. She has took the authority. She came over to the throne of Delhi just because of this ability. She was more capable. She was more able than all her brothers. Moreover, she's having that instinct. She's having that much capability. That's why she became the first woman leader. She became the first woman ruler of Delhi. Clear? Now the question is, do you think women leaders are accepted more readily today? The women leaders are accepted these days also. Do you think? Yes, I think women leaders are accepted more readily today because of democracy. You know, democracy, we have democratic form of government. In democratic form of government, we have such government where we can cast our votes and we can choose our own representative. That is the democratic form of government. Remember, a form of government for the people, by the people, of the people, right? So, which is made by the people, common people, which is made for the people and which is made of the people. Okay? So, because of democracy, I think women leaders are accepted. Have you remembered she was made the Sultan, but nobles have thrown her out of the Razia Sultan has been thrown out by the nobles from the throne. Okay, that's why the question arises that do you think women leaders are acceptable these days? Yes, these days they are acceptable because of democracy. Moreover, we are open-minded now. Now the world has become an open-minded in terms of gender equality. In terms of gender equality. Now gender means male or female, equality means where we put both the men and women on common platform. We consider both of them as similar. Earlier, women are considered inferior to men and men are considered superior to women. But nowadays, because of democracy, because we have become open-minded, so there is a gender equality. That means we consider men and women both as similar and would never mind in having women as their leaders, and we will never mind if there is some woman leader. We don't have any problem in having a woman leader. Either it will be male leader or female leader, doesn't matter, but leader should be an effective one, should take care of our government, should take care of our society very well. That is the only thing we want, isn't it? So that is the answer. That's why we accept the women leaders these days. Earlier, people were not open-minded, they were narrow-minded. In fact, they don't consider women as a leader. Moreover, they can't think that women can also rule, because as per according to them, people at that time think that women are made for doing household chores only, and they don't have the capabilities or abilities of taking care of government or rule or country. They can't be able to take care of the country well. That's why they were never been made the ruler. Simple. Okay? Clear? Shall we proceed on with the next question? Note it down fast because you may get the answers in different language. So these are the easy language in which the answers are being made. Okay? Clear? Next question. Why were the Delhi Sultans were interested in cutting down forest? The question is, why Delhi Sultans were interested in cutting down forest? First question. And the another question is, does deforestation occur for the same reason today? Two questions are attached in this. So first question, concentrating upon the first question, why were the Delhi Sultans interested in cutting down forest? The Delhi Sultans were interested in cutting down forest to give land to the peasant. Time and again this term is coming here, peasant. The word peasant means farmers, right? In order to give the land to the farmers so that they can grow more and more crops, so that they will have the land to grow the crops, they were clearing up the forest. Clear? And carry out agricultural practices. That means they were giving the land to the peasant, to the farmers, so that the peasant or the farmers carry out agricultural practices. Clear? And also they cleared forest in order to safeguard their frontiers. Here the term comes, safeguard their frontiers. What is the meaning of safeguard their frontiers? The word safeguard their frontiers means to protect their zone, to protect their area, to protect their area of kingdomship. Okay, to prevent, to save, to make their kingdom safe. Because if there will be forest, it might happen that your intruders, your attackers, your enemy will come, hide themselves in the forest and may attack you during the night time or during any odd hours, right? So in order to protect themselves, in order to safeguard their kingdom, they were clearing up the forest. Okay, cleared. And quick movement of their army or soldier. Now, if you are a king, if you have the soldiers when quarrel up and they walk in quarrel, in columns, in rows, the forest may obstacle their path, the forest may prove a hindrance to the soldiers in walking from one place to another in huge crowds. That's why they were clearing up the forest. Clear? So why Delhi Sultans were interested and why Delhi Sultans were cutting down the forest? First reason, to give land to the peasant so that these peasants can carry out the agricultural practices. Number two, to safeguard their frontiers. That means to safeguard their area, their zone, and for the quick movement of their soldiers or their army. For quick movement of their soldiers or their army, it was very necessary that they should clear up the forest, they should make the land plain. Okay, that's why they were cutting down the forest. Now another question was, does deforestation occur for the same reason today? Do you think that deforestation occur for the same reason today? In today's world, deforestation occur due to construction of roads, railways, industries, okay, for building up of bridges, for building up of cities, for building up of houses, okay. Because of these factors, forests are being cut down, and also for agricultural purposes, mind you, for agricultural purposes. So some reasons are different, some reasons are similar. So altogether we can consider, because of these things also, because of these factors also, forests are being cleared these days. Clear? So in today's world, hence some of the reasons are same for deforestation, because we are clearing up the forest for agricultural purposes also. If we sometimes feel that forests are posing hindrance or they are posing a threat or a danger to our life because of one reason or the other, we are clearing up the forest, we are clearing up for living, for making the part agricultural part or for making agricultural land, right? So I think for the same reason we are clearing up the forests. Okay? These are the questions based on thinking, reasoning. So questions answer may differ, but altogether this is the answer you have to write in different language. Okay? Now, in addition to it, there are some additional questions also which I want to discuss. Few questions are there, dear. So you should also look towards it. Okay? What is the time of rule of Anangpal? In this question, you have to give the time period. Go through your book, see the answer. What is the time of rule of Anangpal? Yes, it's 1130 to 1145, right? So the time of rule of Anangpal is 1130 to 1145. This is the answer, right? You remembered page number 31. In that page, if you will see Anangpal, the first ruler who has established his control over Delhi for the first time, Anangpal, there the period has been written, right? So let's move on with the next question. What was the another name of Iqtadar? Now it's an important question and it is the question which I have discussed too many times. Yes, you might be knowing this answer. And the answer is Iqtadar's other name is Mukti. Yes, very good. So it is the Mukti. You remembered who were the Muktis? Who were Muktis? Muktis were the landholders. Okay, or if the king unable to take care of the land, they used to keep military commanders. Remember? So those were known as Iqtadar. Iqta means a piece of land. The holders of those were Iqtadar, and that's why another name of Iqtadar is given as Mukti to those military commanders. Remember, everything has been discussed relating to the fact that they were given the land for temporary period of time, not permanently. After that they were shifted and all these things. Answers were already been discussed, right? So keep on learning the things, keep on continuing with the revision so that you will have a better grip of the history. Another question is, who abolished Iqta system? The word abolished here, abolished means to eliminate, to stop, to ban, okay, to remove. So the question is, who abolished the Iqta system? This is the question, who abolished the Iqta system? It was, do you remember, do you know? I haven't discussed, but if you look into the book, you will get the answer. Alauddin Khalji was the person. Alauddin Khalji, very famous ruler. Yes, he has emptied the residence, made it as garrison town. You might have remembered, right? So it was Alauddin Khalji who abolished the Iqta system. Iqta system has been taken away, has been removed, has been eliminated. By whom? By Alauddin Khalji. Another question coming to your way. What was the language of administration of Delhi Sultans? Yes, everybody knows about this answer. The simplest of the simple, right? Or the simple of the simplest, whatever you can say. A very simple question. What was the language of administration of Delhi Sultans? It's Tuareg, or you can say Persian. The question has also been given, right? These are some of the important questions, additional questions. Here comes another question to your way, straight away. You note these questions. These are short questions, brief questions, but important questions. Another question to your way. Who made the plan to capture Mongol territory? Are you able to see it clearly? Who made the plan to capture Mongol territory? Who made the plan to capture Mongol territory? Mongols were time and again attacking the Delhi Sultans. So who made the plan? It was the powerful king. Yes, remembered who was that? It was Muhammad Tughlaq. Yes, it was Muhammad Tughlaq who made the plan to capture the Mongol territory. These Mongols were invading the Delhi territory. These Mongols were invading the Delhi time and again. They were attacking the kings because he was also a powerful ruler at that time. He made the plan to outwit them. He made the plan to fight against the Mongols. Clear? Coming on to the next question. What was the duty of the Muktis? Duty of the Muktis. You have to tell what was the duty of the Muktis. I have already discussed you. There were two duties of the Muktis, right? What was the duty? To maintain the law and order of their Iqtas. Number one, right? Muktis were who? Iqtadar, right? So to maintain the law and order, right? Law and order of their Iqtas. And one more duty has been assigned to the Muktis. What was that? That was to lead the military campaigns, right? Two duties only I have told you. The duty of the Muktis is to lead military campaigns and to maintain law and order of the Iqtas. Lead the military campaign. Whenever if there will be any attack, these will lead the military. So muftis were leading up the military campaign. Remember? Yes, these were the two most important duties of the muftis. Have you noted it down? Just note it down. These are very important questions. These are short questions but an important one. Now one question is, what is Qibla? What is Qibla? This is an important question here. Qibla. You know, whenever the Muslims pray, the Muslim pray facing Mecca, or you can say facing the west side, western side. Okay, that direction is nothing but the Qibla. Okay, during prayer, Muslims stand facing Mecca. In India, this is west. This is Qibla. Okay, this is an important question. Note it down. What do you mean by the term Qibla, or what is Qibla? So during prayer, Muslims stand facing Mecca. In India, this is west. If you face that if you stand facing your face towards west, that is the direction of the Mecca. Or you can say, if you want to face towards Mecca, you have to stand facing towards the west. In any ways, in any terms you can explain it. So this is Qibla, the western direction in which the Muslims stand while praying is known as Qibla. Okay, clear? I don't think there will be any problem with this. Let's move on with some more interesting questions. Let's see, do you know or not? Who were Band guns? See, the word Band guns, B-A-N-D-G-A-N-S, Band guns. Band means guns means people. Gan, in Hindi we used to say Jana Gana Mana. So Gan means people of our country, or people. Okay, clear? Who were Bandagans? These were the slaves. Slave, you know, people who don't have their own desire, who don't have their own wish. They have to work as per according to the owner. Owner means who were the purchaser, who have bought the slaves, right? So they were slave owner. So they have to, slaves were those people who have to work as per according to the wish of their owner, right? So Bandagans were the slaves who were purchased by Sultan Iltutmish. Okay, and they were trained to work in the political offices. The Bandagans were special slaves. They were special slaves purchased for military service by early sultans, especially Iltutmish. Iltutmish was a sultan, was a ruler who used to purchase those special slaves, and these slaves, Bandagans, were given special training. They were trained to work in political offices. Clear? So I don't think there will be any problem with this question now. Who were Bandagans? Bandagans were special slaves purchased for military service. They were purchased by Sultan Iltutmish during earlier times, and they were trained to work in political offices, and they were given the training so that they can work in their political office. Clear? Who defeated the Tomar Rajputs? If you look down to the page number 31, that list of the rulers, after Tomar, it was Chauhan who came into rule. After Tomar Rajput, so it was the Chauhans of Ajmer who have ruled, who have outwitted, who have defeated the Tomar Rajputs. Clear? It was Chauhans. Now another question is, why authors of Persian Tawariq criticized the Delhi Sultans? These author of Persian Tawariq, or you can say the authors of Tawariq, have criticized. Criticize means to say bad words. To say bad words about whom? About Delhi Sultans. They were already, these authors of Tawariq were writing praise of the Sultan, but once upon a time they started criticizing the Delhi Sultans. Why? Because of a simple reason. They criticized the Delhi Sultan for keeping low birth origin people in their offices or for doing their work. Okay, that's why they were criticizing. For appointing low and base born to high offices. Here comes the term. Low means everyone knows low. Base born means people who were having low birth, or they were from very downtrodden caste, or they were people of low society or low caste. Okay, base born. Base means somewhat base, lower. Born with low quality. Okay, because these Delhi Sultans were appointing these base born people to their high offices. That's why Tuareg authors, or the authors of Persian Tuareg, criticized the Delhi Sultans. They used to start writing bad words, or they were writing the things, they start writing the things which were not favor in Delhi Sultans. Clear? Because the Delhi Sultans were appointing base born people to the high offices, to their courts, to their courtiers, as a courtiers. That's why they were criticizing Delhi Sultan. Clear? Now, because the time has, I have already discussed the important questions. I don't think I have left out any portion. If you still think that if there are some portions which are needed to be discussed, you can ask me. But for the time being, you note down the homework for today. Write it fast. First question is who were Bandagans. Another question is what is Qibla. So you have to define all these things. Bandagans, Qibla, and the third question is what is the duty of Muftis. Remember, 2 duties of Muftis. Time and again these questions were discussed. These are short answers. Note it fast. These are your homeworks which are needed to be done in your homework copy. So do it fast. Okay. Note down these questions fast. So I have discussed this question. I have discussed this chapter in fact. Okay. Thoroughly. So I don't think there will be any problems relating to this chapter. I don't think there will be any doubts or you have some confusion in your mind. I have tried my level best to clear up your doubts. If you still think that there is some doubt or problem, you can ask the question. Okay. So till the next time we are going to meet, it's goodbye from my side. Have a nice day. Have a wonderful day. Stay with your family, okay, along with your parents, and do well in your studies. Bye.